Hi everyone, it's Crappy Kathy here with Mixed Media Mayhem and an example page for sketch number 104 over at Scrap-A-Sketch. And this is the sketch. It's got a couple triangular pieces, and I had some triangular pieces cut from another project, and they don't allow me to do it this way. So I'm going to do it a different way, but I think it's going to be a similar but kind of cool effect. And then there's some layers and then some cut frames and some floral clusters and a floral cluster here. So I'm going to add a little bit to that. The Mixed Media Mayhem recipe calls for texture, and I'm going to use some texture paste on some clouds and do a white on white texture-y kind of thing. And pattern paper, which I have no problems with. My triangles are pattern paper, and paint. And I have some of this Tangerine Dream shimmer paint by Dilutions, and I'm gonna turn that light out. I think that improves your ability to see things and read them. It's Dilutions by Diane Reevely, and I'm not quite sure how I'm going to use it. I may just splatter with it, but we'll see. So I'm going to first spread the texture paste on. And I'm just going to put it on fairly thinly and not worrying about whether I get perfect clouds. Okay, I guess I should have you pointed where, or the screen should be pointed where you can actually see what I'm doing. So I'm kind of doing, I put one smear of texture paste on my palette knife here, and I'm just kind of spreading it around, and I want it to have some kind of textural looking cloud, since this is all about texture. And I'm going to remove my magnets and lift that up. And I don't know if you can see there. Let me get this a little bit. Can you see that? I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to move, while this dries a little bit, I'm going to move my laptop to the other side of the table because I think the light's better there. I have no idea whether that's true or not, and I may be sorry that I took all this time doing this, but we shall see. Okay, now I'm going to put it here. In any case, I can see better what you're seeing. So now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do this because I kind of want to see if that helps or hinders your ability to see the clouds. So there's the texture. I think you saw that. I think you could see that. So I need to turn it this way and now go about building the rest of the page. And I'm going to turn that light off because that is kind of going to... Okay, this goes here. So I'm just going to kind of do this, and then I'll put a little bit of, I need to cover, I need to put a little bit of liquid glue on the very point here to get that stuck down. It doesn't go all the way to the end of the page like the ones in Lisa's sketch do, but I think we'll like it anyway. And I'm trying to get this perfectly situated in the corner, and that's not the easiest thing in the world for me to do. So let me see if that helps your view. And I kind of want to make sure I don't get any texture paste on my laptop. And I had my embellishments kind of organized by the cluster I was going to use them in, and all of that's mixed up now because of moving them across the table. But so we have to make it up as we go along, and I'm thinking that's okay because we are scrapbookers, darn it, and we know how to do that. Okay, so based on this, they're both right triangles, and they had the same orientation, so I couldn't use them on opposite corners, but I have them both kind of pointing towards the same corner, and I thought I would run a kind of banner across there, a little fringe banner. I'm using several different collections by Cocoa Vanilla, and I took the adhesive off just a couple places, and I left the foam under there, but didn't do the adhesives. Okay, and I have a title. I'm going to do everything except I'm going to do the photo cluster last, because the photo cluster is going to sit on top of my wet clouds. But I have built the cluster, and I'll show you what I built it with. I'm just going to leave these things on my desk, and we'll see. This banner is from Happy Days. These papers, the triangles, are from Sunkissed, and this title, Awesome, is from No Limits. Now, I was going to do a floral cluster up here. And I'm going to put a leaf there. And I think I do have this. I just need it to be shorter than it is. And I'm going to kind of snug that up in there. All right, and that doesn't go over the top of the page. So now, with that placed, I'm going to put the title here. I want to line it up. Okay, so it says Awesome. The photo is of James and Sky and Barrett at the Chick-fil-A bowl game, college football bowl game, and I couldn't tell you who was playing or but I should know that, but I don't. And this is a photo they took at the game. So I've got some Sky references for Sky and a B for Barrett, and I'm using this is from These Days, maybe, and this is from No Limits. So that's those. I don't know what this one is from Happy Days, the mat around that goes all around the photos from Happy Days. So I'm going to have to put this down now. I can't get around it, and I'm going to, because it's going to be on top of the wet media, I probably should just use it as glue and press down on it, but I'm going to put liquid glue on the back of my foam. I'm going to put it right here. Let's see. I want some clouds to show somewhere, so I'm going to scooch it over here so that the clouds show on the right and underneath. So let me do this. I think that's parallel, and that's kind of pressing down in there. Now, I have made some little makeshift frames out of 3/4 inch strips. That's all I had of this kind of purple paper with the pink polka dots. And I'm going to put it like so. Again, you'll be able to see clouds inside there, and there's still some down here, but you're not seeing them completely all around. Let me get this down here. I'm going to cut some off of there. I never know when I cut these originally how far it can go under before it hits the foam and the adhesive that's holding the cluster there. Okay, now I'm going to do a flower cluster up here. And maybe a big old leaf there. And a star that kind of tucks in so that I have flowers and stars in each of the clusters. I'm going to do a similar cluster down here, and I'll put the star kind of out front and have it overlapping the photo. And then I'll do this pink floral here, and I've got an orange floral that can go kind of like so underneath the cloud, and then I mean underneath the star. And then I have this little berry cluster that I can have coming out, and you can still see clouds there, and I'll be sure when I take the close-up photos that I show that. Now I've got the cloud and the bee, or the sun and the bee. So I'm thinking, not quite sure. I know I want to do it somewhere where there aren't clouds. I don't want to cover up my texture. So I was thinking maybe up here, and then I'd have the bee kind of peeking out behind it. It's on some foam. And I'm going to have it like so, and then the bee I will place in there using my tweezers. And it'll go like that. I'm not entirely happy with that, but it is what it is. Okay, now the paint. I think I'm going to do splatters, and I won't do a lot of them. I'm going to get kind of a floppy paintbrush, and I'm going to put this down on a piece of packaging, and I have to shake it up so that the glitter, it is a shimmer paint, so that the mica that gives it the shimmer is fully mixed in, because I would really like that to show. So I'm going to put it down on here, and I'm going to add a little water to make it easier to splatter. Not doing well here. Let me put that back in there. Oh, well, that was my water that I needed. Okay, so I'm just spraying it with a little bit of water, and I'll mix it with the paintbrush. And then I'm going to cover the photo. And I think I will also cover, let me get a small piece. I'm also going to cover some of the areas. I'll cover this when I'm splattering up there, for example. So let me get a little bit of the paint off, and I'll okay, so there's a little bit of splatter there. It's not great at splattering. I'm going to use another, let me get a little more paint on there. And the splatters have tails. Have y'all ever had that problem? I never have. And partly it's because I'm usually splattering ink, but let's keep this up, and I'm just going to go with the flow here. I'm going to cover that because I don't want any orange splatters on the, whoops, there's a big splatter. And same there. Let's kind of say this is a lesson learned that, and I'm going to go ahead and get some on the pattern paper. I kind of want to make it look intentional as opposed to a mistake. But you and I both know that I kind of wish it hadn't done that. Okay, I think we're going to call it done, because if I keep this up, I will just make a mess. And, you know, heaven forbid that I should make a mess. Now, I will tell you that though this will be published on February 9th, let me make sure that's right. Yes, February 9th. I'm recording this on January, what is date? Is that January 10th? And that's because I'm having surgery next week. And I didn't, I wanted to do all of my creative team posts before my surgery. And so that's kind of what we're doing here. And I actually kind of like the splatters because it gives kind of some chaos like you might have in a football game or in a football stadium. So that's my story, and I'm going with it. I'm sticking with it. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. See you when I see you. Let me kind of lift this up and go there.